Welcome everybody to a look at the second film in the Colombian Noir #7 box set, and it is 1956's The Last Man to Hang. So this is directed by Terence Fisher, who's more well known as far as I'm concerned in regarding his horror films for the likes of Hammer, but I have seen a few of his non-horror films like Sword of Sherwood Forest, Four-Sided Triangle, and Night of the Big Heat. So this is a crime film, clocking in at 75 minutes long. Stars Tom Conway, who was in horror films himself, in fact, in the likes of Cat People, I Walked with a Zombie, The Seventh Victim, and The She Creature. Also stars Elizabeth Sellers, and now this is the first time I've seen her in a leading role. All the other films I've seen her in have been in supporting roles, but she was nonetheless in the likes of The Chalk Garden, The Barefoot Contessa, and 55 Days at Peking. And finally, Eunice Gayson, who was in Doctor No and From Russia with Love. She was actually the first um, uh, leading woman actor outside of Miss Moneypenny to have a more than one role in the film series. In fact, that would be the case right up until Leia Sado in uh, Spectre and No Time to Die. So yeah, it's a bit interesting in that regard. But she was also in Zarak, which is actually a film that was directed by Terence Fisher, Terence Young, sorry, who directed those first two James Bond films, and she would return to doing a film with Terence Fisher with The Revenge of Frankenstein 2 years later. So yeah, decent cast overall there. So yeah, a man is tried for the murder of his neurotic wife by means of a sedative overdose. So this is an overall really good effort that is unfortunately nearly ruined by its final 5 minutes, which granted were hinted at with one minor scene towards the beginning, but it's not really hinted at what is going on in that one scene. But it also feels, but regardless of that, it does feel so rushed and nothing gets rationalised that it ultimately feels tacked on and unsatisfying, as we are not giving no reason for why this has happened, how the police have completely, gone about failing to notice what has gone on and such. I'm trying to not get into spoilers just because I feel like you need to see how the final 5 minutes of this film pan out. But yeah, it does feel tacked on. It does feel unsatisfying, and yeah, nothing gets really explained all that much. Thankfully, the rest of this is so strong that those final few minutes don't fully ruin the rest of this effort. This is due to the strong cast, great pacing, engaging plot, convincing courtroom scenes, good cinematography, and the introduction of each of the jurors is also well executed, as we have a couple of minutes of an introduction to each juror, just to see what their lives are like, what their current situation is, and such, and certainly in terms of certain parts of their life that might well influence their decision when it comes to deciding whether they not our lead character is guilty or not. So yeah, although overall really solid, it's just a shame that those final 5 minutes really undo it. It could have easily ended at the 70-minute mark, and this would have been a 3.5 star film. But unfortunately, because of those final 5 minutes, it does drop half a star to 3 stars, meaning that this is the weakest out of this box set so far. So yeah, which is a shame, but that's just the way it goes sometimes, I guess. So yeah, there is the disc and another poster for the film itself. And yeah, we've got a high definition remaster, so this definitely looks a little bit better than A Prize of Gold did, purely because it is in black and white, so any flaws in the film or the production are far less apparent than in that one. It's got the original mono audio, which again sounds pretty good. Audio commentary with writers Barry Forshaw and Kim Newman from 2025. Film fanfare number 5 from 1956 that clocks in at 5 minutes long. That's a British Pathé newsreel featuring a lucky competition winner visiting the set of The Last Man to Hang and meeting the cast and crew. Then you got the Guardian lecture with Ivor Monteau. So that's from 1977. That clocks in at 75 minutes long. That's an archival audio recording of a lecture delivered by the screenwriter at the National Film Theatre London on the subject of Lenin and cinema. Weirdly, the exact same length as the film itself. And then you got Image Gallery, new and improved English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, and it's a world premiere on Blu-ray. So yeah, really like Terence Fisher films, and even though this isn't by no means as good as his horror efforts, it does match two of the three non-horror efforts that I've seen. But Four-Sided Triangle is ultimately the better of the four now, as yeah, that does has the stronger overall plot and doesn't have the have an awful god awful ending. So yeah, that's ultimately what sinks this one. But still, could be a lot worse. Yeah, like I said, the first 70 minutes are absolutely really, really good. So yeah, if that first 70 minutes was a little bit more hit and miss, then it could have well have even been worse than that. But thankfully, it was not. It's just the last 5 minutes that, like I said, ultimately undermined this film. So yeah, going to that knowing this, but I kind of knew that the ending was apparently a little bit silly, and yeah, didn't spoil the rest of the film for me in, when watching it. But when it comes to reviewing it, yeah, those final 5 minutes could not be ignored when scoring it. So yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you have seen this film before, let me know your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.